Ish. I'm gonna wait. My earring doing something crazy. Peace, peace, peace. Everyone that's coming in. Peace. I know I didn't give y'all a big forewarning about this video, but I had a young person asking questions. Peace. All my regulars. Peace, peace, peace. I had a very young person asking me some good questions today. So I wanted to touch on a couple of topics. I'm going to try to do a couple of one cards because we got full moon energy tonight. I'm the only one that's probably going to be hype about this. Somebody might be hype about the full moon besides me. I know I'm hype. My family looking at the game. So y'all might hear some occasional screaming and things. Okay, so my goal is not to get too, I might even have to come back piece to do the couple of one cards that I want to do as we're going into this full moon. But my goal is to stay on track and stay on topic today. Yay. Let's see how that works. And for some reason, I don't know if it's because I was just moving like a whole lot. Yes, full moon. I'm like, I'm also a young person, 16, and wanted to ask about healthy detachment. Oh, that's a good one. Healthy detachment is loving yourself. Everybody who know me, I'm all about loving yourself, walking into your own self-love, understanding what that looks like. With you being so young, I don't know if your parents are providing you with that information, but there's a lot of things that when you are truly operating in self-love, it shows, because you're making the decisions that operate in that space. You're making decisions that not only operate in self-love, they're reflecting it. So even as basic as, is it a good idea for me to drink this alcohol compared to me drinking this glass of water? That's a healthy choice. Thank you. I'm fake glowing. I swear, I had a facial last week, and it's so crazy, but because before I got the facial, and it was with a cucumber mask, and before I got the facial, I said, I hope this don't break me out, because my skin being a little extra sensitive lately. And sure enough, like my whole side of my face, everything was breaking out. I was like, oh God. Lucky for y'all, I'm not superficial like that. So I might have been like, oh, I can't go live. I'm gonna be looking crazy. So I'm gonna try to go through this. I know I'm gonna end up recording 2 videos, but my goal is to get this in 1 video. Peace. Quick notes. Sometimes I jump into like full moon things, and what I do realize is a lot of people don't know what to do. So if you are prepping yourself for this full moon or new moon to do a ritual, the first thing you should do is clean your house, clean your apartment, all of that. And yes, Pink Petal, you know I thought about you, because I meant to call you. I was like, oh my God, what did I have going on under this skin? Because it just pulled everything out. Anyway, okay. I'm not going to be distracted. I swear I act like a different sign sometimes. Anyway, full moon, new moon rituals, the first thing you should do is cleanse your house. You have to clean up. You have to organize. Move things that are in corners that are going to create clutter or stagnant energy. After you clean up, and so this is why I always say you should be prepping for the full moon, and I'm sorry because I did this late, but prepping for that full moon before the full moon hit. Let's say, for whatever reason, you ain't get to do all of that. Oh, can I do all of this after the full moon? Of course you can, because full moon energy lasts for what? 2 days. At least 2 to 3 days. So, but it's better for you to, take these peak hours. So, prep by cleaning up, doing the things that are especially like in your sacred area. I just was telling one of my students today, 'cause I was doing a reading. I was like, oh, I can't find that in my altar room. I need to clean up. So, your sacred space, your bedroom, your bathroom, those 3 in particular. If you don't have enough time to do your whole house, fine. Those 3 in particular, though, got to be clean. Reason that you want to do that is because it has to be. That whole concept of cleanliness is next to godliness. You have to think from that perspective. So, clean up. Then go through. Sage everything. Peace, peace, peace. Sage your space. Get in all the corners. Go through, sage. Speak life. Speak what you need to be removed out of your space. After you sage, that just reminded me that I did not bring no cinnamon. So I'm definitely probably coming back on that one card. After you sage, you want to go back. And my preference, y'all know I'm a favorite of cinnamon. Look up the qualities of cinnamon. Cinnamon is my go-to. It's a protection. It's for abundance. It's for sensuality. All of that. So everything that people be asking about. You want to be protected. You want to be in touch with your spiritual self. You want to be grounded. You want love in your life. You want abundance in your life. Get you some cinnamon. That's your go-to. Okay? Burn your cinnamon all the way through the house. Go back through. Burn. If it's not cinnamon, sweetgrass. Great thing. Go back through. Burn it through there. Those are my 2 things. Like, if you burn sage, please go back and replace that energy that you just removed with sweet energy. And that could be cinnamon, it could be sweetgrass, it could be whatever. But go back. A lot of y'all are saging and then y'all are leaving your house voided. The energy is voided. You got to go back and speak life into it. Okay. So then after you do that, you could do cinnamon oil too. You can burn cinnamon oil in your burners. You could take, I don't have none of my stuff. I feel so unprepared. So we're going to pretend this is my spray bottle that y'all be seeing me have all the time. But like if this was the spray bottle, you would take the spray bottle, shake it up, spray through the room. Go back and speak life. Speak life. Speak what you want to put in the air. Palo Santo is a great one. I actually do both. But even with Palo Santo, I still go back and burn something sweet or like a eucalyptus or something, a mint. Yes, diffuse it or mist it. Exactly. You could do any of that. As long as you are replacing the key is that you want to replace the energy you removed with a sweet energy or a spiritual energy or whatever it is that you feel like you want to put back in the air, back in the atmosphere. That's what you want to go back into. Okay. Man, listen, I have a sage, like I call it my aura spray, and it has sage, cinnamon, some other ingredients, some of my special ingredients, and some Florida water. So, yes, spearmint oil, peppermint, eucalyptus, any of that. So always when you go back through and then research those oils, y'all, like, this book is somewhere, but research that. Research the things that it's right here. Research the things that you are putting back in the universe, and then you can understand. I just did a class where I was telling people like it's a reason that I operate and probably teach from the perspective that I do, because no matter what it is that I'm studying, whether it's oils, whether it's herbs, how it's healing, I also go look up what is it conjunct to, what is it aligned to, planet wise, zodiac sign wise, oil, like Orisha wise, deity wise, all of that. I'm gonna look up all of that to figure out how is it working within my manifestation. Cooking with cinnamon. That's a good thing too. And putting cinnamon in your foods is like a wonderful thing. It's got a lot of healing properties, but it also is connected, like I said, to certain spiritual aspects. So that's why you should even be researching from those aspects. What are these oils or herbs helping within my body? Why am I attracted to certain things? And how is that connected to the other spiritual realms? Everything is connected. Everything is divine. Never mistake that or feel like it's a coincidence. Okay, so y'all, my goal was, I had a young person ask me about Orishas in particular. So, and that was a topic I kind of wanted to touch on with my students. So I'm going to do, definitely with the people who are in my class, I'm going to do y'all a separate video that's going to go into more depth with what it is that I want to touch on. But I'm going to run through some stuff on here with y'all. I wish I could remember what exact question. I think they were just wanting an overview of some of the Orishas. The book that I recommended is The Ori. And I don't know if any of my people who I usually have helping me, if somebody knows the book, The Ori, if you can put like the link to it, if you go on Amazon and put the book, The Ori, and it breaks down Ifa and all the Orishas and the concept of, you know, what the Ori is. It's a good book for you to kind of get a better understanding of this. Okay. When is your next class and where can I sign up? So y'all can sign up on my website, but give me a second because I am getting ready to break some topics down, like natal chart 101, some basics that y'all can understand with natal charts, tarot, well, divination, certain dynamics. I'm gonna break down in individual classes where it might be like a 2-day class, and that's all you got to do. The class that I'm doing now is called the Goddess Awakening and Peace. So my whole thing with that is to awaken inner goddess, or help you get more in alignment with your goddess side, and give you some tips and tools throughout the process. My biggest goal in the Goddess Awakening class is to understand why you are a goddess, and the importance of self-love. Y'all gonna hear me say that. If you are following me throughout the year, y'all gonna hear me say that probably 100 times. Self-love is so key in your growth, and how you create magic, and how you manifest, and how you bring certain things and certain aspects to fruition, period. There's no getting around that. So the spirits has been real heavy on me about making sure that I drive that point home. Because y'all be wanting to learn all this candle magic, oil magic, herb magic, all of that stuff. And I'm like, it don't mean nothing, if you are not walking fully in who you are, and knowing that you are operating at true self-love, period. I don't care what nobody say. Peace. So, Orishas. These are really good companions, and these are all companion books that go with like all my divination decks. So, nope, this got a glare. Let me see. Can y'all see that? Yeah, Self Magic. So, Matuna. It's a great book. It went with my very first Oracle system. So the book is not too bad. It don't look as bad as some of my other books. But what I do love about books like this, and this is why I recommend these. Can y'all see? Now my actual deck, I don't even have it down here because it's my personal deck. But this is the actual book. I'm not even sure if they still print all of these anymore. I know they do have Matuna, but they seem to be very hard to get. Okay, so the reason I like this is because it gets into basic information and how they break down the definitions of, how they break down the definitions of certain religions, ways of life, culture, all of that. But it also gets into really good, descriptions of each, like the realms, the spiritual realms. It gets into a really good description of not only meditation. This is actually a really good book. I forgot how much science is in here, honestly. But it gets into a really good description of the deities that correspond with Kemetic philosophy. So when you get into Aset, Asar, all of that, and to me that is the core. I've said this a lot and I don't really speak on it as much, but to me it's the core, because to me everything derives from this information, not this particular book, but when you go to the core, the deities like Aset and how she corresponds to Isis, how she corresponds to Yemiya. When you really understand the core principles of those deities, you really understand and start seeing how they transmute through all the different ways of life, cultures, everything. Like you'll see one of the students in our chat earlier today, the goddess of 10,000 names. It's really that serious. Like when you really understand how to break down and decode stuff and see how they correlate and the fundamentals are the same, I get into a space where I'm like, you don't have to use 100 deities on your altar. You don't have to. Because if you understand who Aset is, then you see how she manifested in everything. If that makes sense. So, with the Orishas, like I said, Aset will be Yemiya. That's who she correlates to me. Because she's the nurturer. I said, as always, I actually brought y'all my Orisha deck. That's another good book that I actually love from the tarot perspective. Oh, if y'all can see that. My hand is on the title, but the Tarot of the Orishas. I don't use this deck as much as I used to for personal reasons, but the breakdown of each Orisha, they even have like Orisha chants for each breakdown. They'll tell you a little brief history of the story behind that particular Orisha. Is really a good companion guide, especially if you like dealing with your Orishas. I just love, that's why I was drawn to it at first. It's because of me knowing the different Orishas. So this is who they depicted as Yemiya. So anybody who know me can probably see why this doesn't resonate with me. I have a question about mixing tarot with Orishas. Should I inbox? Yeah, inbox me. So, Alicia. So for me, this is not how Yemiya looks like for me. But just so y'all can get the concept outside of color, you know, her being by the water, the seashells, that representation is there. So that's how I kind of go back and say, pay attention. Color scheme, her colors are the same as I said. Pay attention to the core. When you're paying attention to the core of what a deity means, then you can see how they transmute into other deities. Hetaru. And I'm picking those because those are my incarnations. So y'all gotta, deal with the fact that I'm probably being a little biased. Hetaru transmutes into who? Oshun. So both of those deities are over beauty industry. They're over hold on, let me see. Here you go. Oh, shit. There you go. Child, yeah, they had Yumi out on there looking real pale faced. I feel like this is not in focus. But anyway, this is Oshun in their deck. And I'm not going to pick on them too hard because this tarot companion for the Orishas is more based from a Santeria perspective. So with the Santeria perspective, that's more, you know, Latino inspired. They're not going to be African inspired. They're going to be a different combination. Lighter skin. But it's interesting that Oshun is a little, she got a little color to her. So Oshun is over beauty. She's over the sensual aspect. She's over abundance in certain dynamics. So peace. So it's all of those things that you have to like go through when you're breaking down the different Orishas and the different deities. So I want to go over like real quick. I'm not going to get too deep into like what each Orisha mean, but I do want to go through. So y'all hear me talk about Elekba all the time, or Elekwa, Papa Elekba. So that is the card for him. And do I have another picture? I don't. That's a good picture. But Elekba, the gatekeeper, the gate opener, the crossroads. I always tell people, for me, he's been very key in my growth just because he is the gatekeeper. This is who you should be going to before you even try to talk to the Orishas. Yeah, Orishas are going to manifest in your life, but you honestly should be working out of like almost, you want to think of out of respect. How I'm going to skip over the person who holds the key to the gate. Let me come to you in respect. Let me come to you in honor of my ancestors, of that lineage. And then that's a whole nother thing, but I ain't even going to get into that video. Really, you should be establishing communication with your own ancestors first and dealing with your ancestors first before you even start dealing with the Orishas, like, or deity energy. You supposed to have like your real squad that's going to really, really go hard for you in the paint. It's going to be your spirit guides and your ancestors. Kind of like, yes, like the elder. That's the person that is like, oh, I can't, you're not getting ready to talk to them without, do you start with him every time you sit with the Orisha? I do. I everything I do go through Elekba. Everything. When I do readings for y'all, when I'm sitting there looking like I'm talking to myself, I go through Elekba. He's definitely my gate opener. He's the guardian. I'm gonna get it together. Guardian of the gate. Guardian of that realm. So, yes, but if y'all, like I said, if you are asking me from a certain perspective, because I got into the Orishas, but the one thing that I do want to say and stress, and this is why I always tell y'all to get to know who you are, know what your lineage is, who are your ancestors. Yeah. Who are your ancestors? Who are the people that are directly connected to you? What were they studying? Do the research. Y'all don't be wanting to do the research. Y'all will sit here and read 100 books, but don't even want to do the research to get to your own lineage. And that's crazy to me because that is going to give you direct keys to what your strength is. Some of us have natural abilities to do certain things and direct connections if we are tapping into who we are. Ashe, connecting with your ancestors, I'm telling you, that's a beautiful thing. They show up and show out. And they are consistent. Where some of the Orisha energy might not want to work with you at that time. That's a whole nother conversation. They might not feel like, nah, you ain't where you need to be. I'm here. I'm definitely one of your guys, but you ain't where you need to be. So why you think you even worthy to come and ask for me to manifest in who you are? I don't want to. I don't work on that level yet. So paying attention to all of that, paying attention to where you are in your growth, and knowing that you have to really know who you are, what your foundation is before you even get into the aspect of wanting to add all these complex layers. That's why some people be scared. You scared to work with certain Orishas or deities or energies because what? You don't know yourself. You ain't confident that you God. You ain't confident that you a goddess. If you was, then you already know the line, the chain of command, as they would say. Peace, peace, peace for the people coming in. Who's the next person? I want to go through the ones that are more of the core and the more known ones. Shango. Yes, Shango. Can you still give offerings? Yes, you could still show respect, and you could still give acknowledgement to that energy, but I just don't suggest for you to invite them in certain dynamics until you are ready. I'm just real big on don't play with stuff that you ain't ready for. Yeah, Frida, she don't play. Yeah, she don't play. A lot of energies don't really play. Shango is, warrior energy, but he is also over business. He's over, like, Shango is going to be the person that you go to when you're trying to get those business deals together. Shango and Oshun, honestly, those are my go-tos when I'm doing business deals, peace, when I'm doing anything related to what I want to manifest, and I want to make sure that I am, coming through as far as communication-wise. That energy is always really, really powerful for me. The next person is Eshu, which is still a certain version to me of that crossroad energy, but Eshu is more of like over, what's a good way that I can put it? I don't want to say afterlife, but oh, Ashe. Thank you. Thank you. Let me see if they got a nicer way for me to put this, because I know I have a lot of different type of people on here. So I don't want to offend anyone. My family is real excited about this game. Let me see. Well, I was hoping they had another picture of Alekba besides that other one too. They don't have another. They saying the same thing I'm about to say, but just think afterlife or Baron. If you know who the Baron is, that Eshu is very similar to that. He's very similar to a combination in the Orisha deck. That's a combination of like that energy plus Alekba. So it's still that crossroad energy. It's still that gatekeeper energy, but it's more of like the trickster aspect. If you know who, you're right. Somebody just, she was playful for, yeah. It's more of the trickster aspect, more so than the other card that I showed you. This is the female version of Eshu, which she's all about celebration. She like the life of the party. So when you calling her energy in, or if you seeing that energy coming to you, I don't know if y'all can see that good, but her energy is more like she's all about celebrations. She's all about new beginnings, new things that are ushering in. But it's still, yes, loves candy. Offerings, we can get into that too. I'm trying to just go through so they can actually, because I don't really, like I said, unless you really, really are at that level where you can, and I'll probably do that video on my YouTube. If you're at the level where you are already working with your ancestors and now you're ready to start working with Orishas, then you need to, understand what their attributes are as far as the offerings and the things that they get into. I'm just personally saying, don't do it until you're ready. Obatala. And on here it's a different name because, like I said, this is more from Santeria. But Obatala. Obatala energy is for look at him like it's the Orisha over the Orishas. He's the all in all. He's the creator of everything. So that's who almost like the Orishas have to go through. They go to talk to. Obatala is a really good, strong energy. They also say that Obatala has more of a dual energy, male and female. So it is the divine. That's what I look at it. Obatala represents the source. It is it has no gender. It's both. Yes, the head. For the mother and the father, though. Not just the father, the mother and the father. Oba. And it's crazy. Oba Nani. I actually was just talking about her twice. She's come up a couple of times for me. Though, like, that's Oya's sister. So plays no games. Quick to take your head. But very protective when it comes to family. Very aggressive in maybe her nature. A beast when it comes to them knives and them swords. I think who on here? Jackie, I don't know if you're still on here. She just was talking about that, or we were just talking about that with her. And it's funny because if you see how this card look compared to like what she represents, it's funny. Anyway, her sister. Oh yeah. She's over wind. She's actually the representation of Storm. So if y'all know the comic strip with Storm in it, I think that's Marvel. Don't get me wrong, and don't judge me because I don't know. But whoever she with, Storm, that is they stole that image from Oya. She's over storms and wind and swift change. Her mouth ain't no joke either. Her energy is like, oh, you playing? You need change in your life. You inviting me in. Oh, it's getting ready to happen. Like she'll turn your whole life upside down. That's that Uranus energy. I'll get into that, like which deities actually correspond to what energy. Actually, let me pull that up now, so I don't forget before we get off here. Excuse me. Who else have I done? Oh, I almost missed Ogun. Y'all gonna let me? Ogun is over metal. He's over like weaponry. His colors is green and blue. I should have went through the colors. I'll go back through, y'all. I like Ogun. Definitely one of my Orishas that I don't work with as much as I probably should. But like I said in the class, I work with the ones that I feel are connected to me. Yes, the Waymaker. You got to think of like Ogun is also over like when you think about trains, anything that create a certain energy. Hold on. Since we own Ogun, I wanted to pull up what planet he's affiliated with. Okay, Mars. So Ogun is with Mars. Manifests with minerals, tools, war, hunting, accidents. So they consider him the Lord of metals. Can be aggressively masculine. So I always like Ogun. Like when people think about warrior energy, it's so funny because everybody want to be Shango. Everybody want to be Shango. That's the name that everybody, affiliate with. Now you need to want to be like Ogun. Ogun gets it done. That's the one who you want to go to. So you got to think he's just like super masculine. He's definitely called in to like take people's heads with that machete, or other iron weapons. He's, like I said, he's the one that makes weapons. Yes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, telling you she about to change your life. She about to turn your life upside down. Oh my goodness. Hold on, y'all. Let me get super comfortable because I feel like I'm gonna be on here for a sec. Okay. So let's go back. Did I at least get through? Oh, who did I didn't do? Exudamare, which okay, here we go. And I love this particular site, so I might post this site because they talk about Rahu and Ketu, which anybody who's gotten charts done by me know I talk about Rahu and Ketu all the time. As far as your karmic dance in your life, Rahu bringing in the energy that you are going to have your present karma, and then your K2 is always your past life karma, which normally is resonating with, like, that's a whole nother class. Anyway, when you think about K2, that's this energy as well, Exumare, and that's the Kundalini energy as well. Can y'all see that? Oh, there we go. So when you get into that, it's like connecting the spirits. That's what I always look at that energy as, connecting the spirits. Like on here, it said, it is believed that the ancestors have the responsibility to invoke the ethical standards of the clan's past generations. So the rainbow serpent controls the forces that direct movement, indicates mobility and change, and is the lord of elongated things. He relates to the umbilical cord, also to the spinal cord. So if you know about Kundalini and start studying that, even how Kundalini, like when your Kundalini is rising, how the side effects of that shows up in your body. People will start having back pain. You'll start feeling a vibration. It's a lot of different dynamics that go into that, just depending on who you are. Rules change. It rules the dynamics of the divine feminine and the divine masculine. So it's another one that kind of combines that energy, like Olatala. So study on those two. They really have really powerful energy, but are not really called on to, use. I'm gonna say that. Just because it's almost a chain of command that you really should be going through, unless it's something specific. And I really still feel like, don't call on deities and Orishas and you don't understand them. Point blank. We're not gonna go over Rahu. Let me see who else I got a picture of. Oh, this is a good one. So, and I've talked about, y'all know I talk about Oshun all the time. So with Oshun, her planet correlation would be Venus. And if you know anything about, everybody know about Venus, and unfortunately, like Aphrodite, but that is who Oshun is. And how does that go back to who? Heteru. So Heteru is the original Then comes Oshun. Then comes all the other ones that they stole from us. So that is like always portrayed as a beautiful woman. She always got on the yellow dress. That's why I love yellow. She's always the Orisha over fresh water, the river in particular, flowing water, flowing motions. She's over love, beauty, attraction, sexuality, associated with dance. That's another reason I like when I am starting, like when I'm doing moon rituals or new moon rituals, in particular. That's something I forgot to tell y'all with the ritual aspect. You should be playing music while you're cleaning up, so it raises your vibration. I, in particular, will play, like, we play old school. We do all the other stuff, the high vibrational things that make you feel good. So while I'm cleaning up, I'm going to play all the music that is going to get me my vibrations high. And then I go straight from playing that type of music till I start playing, there's a song, I'm going to see if I can post it or find some sort of clip, that is specifically for Oshun, and I love it. So that is an Oshun chant. So I normally play that, and then I go into like Yemiya if I'm getting ready to take my spiritual bath, or if it's on a specific day. So like today is Sunday, then I will be playing a chant that is going specifically towards Obatala. I will find an Obatala chant, because I'm going to always play homage, especially if it's a certain moon cycle. I'm going to pay homage to that particular Orisha over that day. So that is a key part of like when y'all are doing certain manifestations and everything, making sure you feeling like your energy might, and I just talked about this, your energy might not be fully there. And in order for you to manifest on the levels that you need to manifest, especially dealing with today, your vibration needs to be high. Your vibration cannot be operating in a low frequency. If it is, you're going to get some mixed results, period. You might get the money you were asking for, but you also going to get something that is going to take that money right back out your pocket. Okay? So, Oshun is about sensuality. She's about marriage and fertility and feminine essence, and you know, that's who you go to if you having issues with like your fertility, as far as like your uterus. That's who you would go to. Any female disorders, you need to be, you know, talking to Oshun and making an offering to Oshun. Girl, you better put you some music on. Tell me you ain't vibrating high. Put you some music on. Start singing and dancing. Singing and dancing. Look up, there's like a couple of really good Alekba chants on YouTube. If you put in Alekba, because it ain't that many people that know all of that, but you can find some really good chants. If you go on my page, I want to say, I don't know if my playlist, you know what? If my playlist is not public, what I will do is add everything tonight on my playlist, where if you go on my YouTube page, you can go to like my playlist, and I'll make sure that I have all the chants that I listen to on there, and things that are related to my moon things. Oh, they didn't talk about, it's a couple of Yoruba grand priests we didn't touch on, but we'll touch on that another day. I just wanted to get the core for her. So Eshu, let's go back to them. All right, which is, like I said, very similar to Papa Alekba, which is over Mercury and the mind. Ashe, I will. What's your favorite Oshun chant? I'm going to put it in my playlist, because for right now, I am having a brain fart. And y'all know how I get. I'll be thinking about 100 things that I'm trying to touch on before this thing start counting me down. So, I'm going to have to put it in my playlist. Eshu, Let's see if it focuses and zooms in on it for me. My camera been acting funny all day. It didn't want me to come on live. That's why I was a couple of minutes late. Anyway, maybe it'll do it while I'm in here. A shoe, which could also be a lekba, Papa lekba. He is Olaroon's linguist and the master of languages. Therefore, he is the messenger. He is related to the crossroads and the gateways, new endeavors, and called the opener of the way. He is the Orisha of chance and unpredictability and is known as a trickster. He is also said to assist in enhancing the power derived from herbal medicine, which is why I work with him. Eshu is from, we ain't gonna get into that because y'all don't need none of that. I wanted to see if they had anything else that would be really helpful for y'all. Y'all already know. I hope y'all know what colors Alekba is. Yeah, they don't got no other good information. The one thing I can say with Alekba Eshu is that energy for me has just really done amazing things. He's really good as far as opening pathways when I am asking for a pathway or a particular opportunity to be open. So I specifically go to him when I am working on something that I'm feeling like I'm getting resistance or blockage, and I go to him first and then ask for him to create a open door or a pathway for me to go through. On Mondays, what do I do for? There's not a difference. The only difference in the card is in the cards. The name, a shoe, or a lekba. It just depends on the culture that you're dealing with, which is Santeria or Ifa. It gets a little tricky when you get into that. But with the cards in particular, they represent different things in the book. For me, for him, I really just do stuff that's simple. Like with the crossroads ritual, that can be a little more intense. But what I would say is, like, I always give him toys. I do little cars. I'll make sure that they're in the color that he likes, which is red and black. So I always do like little red car toys or little cute things, because that's that child energy in his presence. He loves kid things. He loves toys. He loves candy. So I always put candy up for offering for him. I don't do the alcohol, but I don't give any of my Orishas alcohol, honestly. I used to, but I don't do it anymore. I specifically, and that's for another part. I don't know, I might have to make a part 2 or 3. Not today, but on why my manifestations with my Orishas are a certain way. So that's another part. But yeah, I keep it real simple. I burn my candles for him. I have masks that are on my altar. Like, I have a whole thing on my altar that is specifically for Alekba. Yes, Papa Alekba, but they all the same person. That's why I be like, it be deities with 1,000 different names. But if you understand the core, then you understand how they represent in each way of life. In each culture, and each culture have their own different things. But this is the thing, before I get too sidetracked, I'm gonna say this quick, but this is the thing when you're talking about dealing with Orishas and deities that I'll get into. Understanding why and what it means to go to them, not looking at them as they are an outside entity, but they are an element that you are manifesting within yourself. Okay? They're not, I don't want y'all to get this twisted from a religious or dogmatic standpoint. Do not start looking at Orishas as this outside entity that is more powerful than you. It is the same dynamic. It is a correlation of who you are. You are just calling on that particular manifestation to come through you. Does that make sense? Yes, throw candies or penny. Throw pennies at the crossroads. Either one. Candy, pennies, something that is representation. I always pause at the crossroads. That's me. Just to pay homage. Not all of them, but like key ones I definitely do. Especially if I'm on a certain type of trip. I go all out for Oshun. I'm not gonna lie. It's too much to get into on here. I might do like each day, maybe when I get ready, maybe once a week I'll go over a ritual that y'all could do for each one. Okay. Who did I miss? I feel like I'm missing somebody. So we said Mercury, right? We did say Mercury. And if you know anything, if you get into astrology and understanding how Mercury works, it makes sense on why I like Elekba. People don't like to deal with him because he is a trickster, but I like him. I don't never have any issues. And I think people say that they don't like to work with him because of the trickster aspect, but I'll go back to, do you know who you are? If you know who you are, then it makes a big difference. Big difference. Yemiya. Yemiya is the moon. I don't even like throwing these cards up because I don't like how they look. But because I don't have no other representation, we're going to roll with it. Yemiya. So the moon manifests as her. Or Yemoja. Depends on where you are coming from. It's a million names for her too. And Madre Agua is a million names for Yemiya. She is the spirit of motherhood of water, salt waters in particular, like the oceans, the queen of the ocean. She is the amniotic fluid in the womb of the pregnant woman. This is why when you are working with Yemiya, if you are really working with her, especially if you're doing a spiritual bath, that's her energy is over. She's very nurturing. You will feel like you are being nestled in the womb when you call in her energy. Okay. As well as she's over, she's the breast because she is the nurturer. She provides substance. Yes, Mama Water, same one. That's why I said once y'all start knowing the dynamics, you're going to understand how they correlate. And then it goes back to who? Aset. Go back to Aset. Go study who Aset was. Okay? She's the protective energy over feminine force and is called the spirit of moonlight. She's associated with the bowl. And similar to, okay, just getting into a whole bunch of stuff that y'all, just too much for this. So color is water, light blue. Is that the mermaid energy? Yes, she's the mermaid energy. So that's Yemiya. And we said Venus was for Oshun. Obatala is the sun, which makes sense. Yes, Mayat too. Somewhat like Mayat, but no. There's another energy that's like Mayat. More so like Aset. So if you look up Aset, A-U-S-E-T or A-S-T, depending on what book that you're looking it up or what dynamic you're going through. I've even posted it on my page, like a whole breakdown of who Aset was. Did I post it on my page? It's either on my page or Comedic Science, y'all. I post a lot. One God, the source, all of that, it's kind of, that goes into like a bunch of different things. But Obatala is correlated to the sun. The sun, it manifests as him and is known as the essence of clarity. He always wears white and illuminates truth and righteousness. He is the eldest of all the Orisha and the creator of human bodies. He is also called a whole bunch of different names. I'm not even getting ready to read all these names. But he has divine authority. Okay, so you got to look at him as like the arch arcana. So this was about to lie for them, but for us of melanated descendants, somewhat. Yeah. I wouldn't correlate him to that. I would probably correlate him to, oh, let's see. I probably would correlate him to someone else, actually. But what the key part of how y'all can see where certain deities or Orishas kind of go through the different ones, write them down. See what their planet correlation is, because all of them have a planetary correlation, trust me. And that'll let you know what their energy, what their core representation is there for. So did I go through all the, okay, we had the sun, we did the moon, we did Mars, which was Ogun, we did Mercury, which was a Shu or Lekba. We didn't do Arula, but I know why. But Shango would be, this would be a good one. So Shango would be considered Jupiter. Okay. To a degree, I don't even want to mix them up. Yeah and no. But that's who we would be considered. Shango would be Jupiter. Okay. Yes, I did Ogun and talked about the weaponry. Like I always tell people, like when you're ready to go to war, you go to Ogun. People be feeling like they need to go to Shango. I was like, that's just, for me personally, I feel like Shango is over another type of energy, not that. So I'll say that. He's more of a, he is a warrior king, but I like Ogun. And maybe it's because of the way my mind thinks. I think that's it as far as planet correlation and Orishas. But I hope that kind of helped as far as like the breakdown as far as who the Orishas are. So we had Oya. Uranus is for Oya. So you got Oya, which is Uranus. I wanted to see if they had a good breakdown on her on here, but they don't even have her on here. They hating. So Oya is Uranus. And I actually posted, like, if y'all probably have to go back a whole almost to the beginning of my post, like when I started this page. But if you go back, I put a lot of information about Oya in particular because she was coming to me really hard at that time. But Oya is over when her planet correlation is Uranus. Oba, I don't know. I feel like they both got the same energy. So I would have to really look that up on who she would be in correlation to. I'm looking on here now. Mercury is over the female aspect of Eshu too, which is Palmagira, in case y'all didn't know. I think I put her up. This is the female Eshu. Female Alekba. So she is not as much of a, what you call it, she also in the marketplace. Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah, I put a lot of information, like I said, up about her energy. Ashe. Ogun, we already talked about him. Shango, we talked about him. Right? Lekba, we've already talked about him. And they got a couple of other ones, but I'm not going to get into that unless I go and break down these particular cards one day. Because that is more from like the other stuff. Okay, they count me down. See, I told y'all I was going to count me down because I be trying to be in here and stay on topic. But I'm going to come back because I have like